Guys, this is Mr. Joshy J, and this is your qualifying review of the Bahrain Grand Prix. Wow, there were a lot of shock surprises in that session, I'm not going to lie, unbelievable. I mean, who would have thought Kevin Magnussen would make Q3? I mean, all the Ferrari powered cars are looking good. Look out for Mayo. Bottas making it through to Q3, unbelievable. So many twists and turns. It was such a brilliant qualifying session. I loved it. McLaren, what an absolute disaster of a qualifying session for them. Daniel Ricciardo knocked out at Q1 and Lando Norris P13. Wow, unbelievable. That McLaren clearly having issues. And the biggest shock to me of the session is George Russell. Only P8 or P9. Absolutely unbelievable. I was expecting him to be P6, close to Lewis, but in terms of the Mercedes battle, that is 1-0 to Lewis Hamilton. I wanted to believe they are sandbagging, but they are clearly behind Red Bull and Ferrari at the moment. I mean, Mercedes have got to look at where they've gone wrong with this new design, because they're clearly not sandbagging. The car is porpoising still a bit. I mean, not as bad as what it was in practice yesterday, so they've kind of resolved a bit in the porpoising issue, but as of Ferrari and Red Bull space, Mercedes at the moment, the 8-time Constructors' Champions, are nowhere near on Red Bull and Ferrari's pace. They are behind, but this is a 23 race season, such a long season, so I'm not going to panic about Mercedes just yet. I am going to remain calm, but as of the win for Hamilton and George Russell this weekend, completely out of question, I believe, unless we have a safety car or something. But Hamilton, hopefully, can have a good race and maybe fight for the podium. But my goodness sake, it is so good to have Ferrari back in the fight. It really is. I'm delighted to see them back up there again. It's been a while, but wow, Haas, that was the first time Haas made it through to Q2 for the first time. Well, they did make it through to Q2 a couple of times last season, but Q3, that is the first time they made Q3 since Brazil 2019. Wow, unbelievable. Kevin Magnussen is my star of the session. Absolutely fantastic. I mean, to be called back in at such short notice, he's only done a little bit of testing, and he feels very much at home already. He's out-qualified to Mick Schumacher by quite a margin, so that is really impressive. The reigning world champion, Max Verstappen, is P2 on the grid, and Charles Leclerc is on pole position. My goodness me. But George Russell would be bitterly disappointed in that qualifying, because most of the weekend he's been outperforming Hamilton, but Hamilton found a bit more in the car. But as I said, Mercedes, though, they're not sandbagging. I wanted to believe they were sandbagging, but unfortunately they aren't. And clearly, with this new era cars, they have got some work to do. They need to find out where they've lost the pace in the car. Of course, Mercedes being 8-time Constructors' Champions with these new era cars, could it mean their domination is coming to an end? Because it's hard to maintain the same level. But as I said, I'm not going to panic yet. I still believe in Mercedes. I believe there is a good race car in that Silver Arrows. They just need to resolve the porpoising issues. But I think Hamilton to be that far off the pace, and George Russell, it hurts. I'm not going to lie. It really does. But it is what it is. Like I say, I believe in Mercedes, and I believe they'll get it right. So, the order is Charles Leclerc on pole position. Second, Max Verstappen. Third, Carlos Sainz. Fourth, is Perez, and 5th is Hamilton. That is the top 5. I mean, Q1 though, Ricardo, part of me isn't really surprised he was out in Q1 because he's hardly had any running, but Norris though, that McLaren does not look good at all. And that is bitterly disappointing for MUFC Racer, who is my loyal subscriber. He's a massive McLaren fan, but they look well off the pace. I cannot wait for the race. Comment your thoughts down below. I will always reply. As I said, starting the session, Kevin Magnussen, absolutely fantastic. Bottas was good. Ferrari, as I said though, is so good to have them back in the fight. Bye bye.